Hey, what is up guys? My name is Guillaume, this is Thomann's Guitars and Basses, and today we're checking out 5 options to bring your acoustic guitar sound on stage. Hey, what is up guys? My name is Guillaume, this is Thomann's Guitars and Basses, and welcome to today's video in which I sit alone. My partner in crime is not here today, he's on holidays, hope he's having a good time. But we keep on our usual schedule with a video today that I don't think we've done in the past. We've covered different options like this one, but not quite a full dedicated video as to how you can bring your acoustic guitar sound on stage. Now, if you're beginning with the instrument, you might not be aware that an acoustic guitar on stage is an absolute can of worms, because the body of the instrument is going to pick up all the vibration, all the sounds that are on stage and resonate within the body, and thus creating feedback, which is something that you really don't want. So unless you are just by yourself singing and playing along with a minimum amount of amplification, in which case you could use a microphone, like a standard microphone in front of the instrument, you're going to have to figure out different solutions to go on stage with an acoustic guitar sound. Fortunately, we now have a ton of really practical options that allow you to go and bring your acoustic guitar sound on stage. We're going to cover 5 of those today. I'd say 4 that are fairly expected, maybe 3, and a couple of special ones. You might recognize some of those guitars already. But let's start with our option number 1, that is to have a standard acoustic guitar, electroacoustic that is, so that means that that guitar is equipped with a piezo pickup. That piezo is sitting underneath the bridge saddle and is going to basically pick up the sound of the instrument and allow you to send that to a DI box, which is what we're going to be doing today. Unless I mention otherwise, we're all taking it through a DI box and right into your ears. So it's super easy. It works with a 1/4-inch jack, just as an electric guitar would. You just put that into the instrument. You have, depending on the model of guitar that you're using, this is our studio acoustic guitar, that's a Maton. You'll have some sort of a preamp most times, either on the side of the guitar or within the sound hole, with a few controls over the overall volume, maybe some EQ, sometimes even a tuner. So yeah, make sure that the volume is on the guitar, and that if it needs a battery, it's got one in, and that's about it. And then that will allow you to amplify your guitar without suffering from all the feedback issues that you'd have with a mic in front of it. So, piezo pickup into an electroacoustic guitar is going to sound like this. Which takes us to solution number 2, which is basically a completely different guitar design. Essentially something that was created and made popular by Ovation a few decades ago now, which is what is an acoustic guitar with a few twists. So mainly you don't have the sound hole. So this is a completely full top, and you have some smaller sound holes there to just be able to play acoustically and still having a bit of resonance, a bit of that acoustic feel to the guitar, but not being as much of an issue when it comes to stage sound and feedback. So first off, and second, you have that composite of back and sides to the instrument that also mitigate quite a bit, do give the guitar a very specific sound, and those instruments in particular were made with the stage purpose in mind. That was the whole point, to be able for those rock bands in the 80s to be able to go on stage with an acoustic guitar, not have any issue. In terms of functioning, it is basically the same thing as the standard acoustic guitar with a piezo pickup. So you plug in your standard 1/4-inch jack cable in there. You've got the preamp on top that allows you to control gain, low, mid, high when it comes to EQ. And you do have a tuner on this one, which is really handy dandy. And it's going to sound like this. Our third solution for the day is yet another guitar design, something that came out a bit more recently that's meant to be even more versatile, even more just a complete package really for you to reach those electric guitar sounds, acoustic guitar sounds, and even different models of acoustic guitar on stage, and those are the Fender Acoustasonic models. This is the Telecaster Acoustasonic Player, so that's the made in Mexico model. That's not the top of the line. I really love them. Every time Chris and I play them on camera and do demos and everything, they're really, really nice because you do have a magnetic pickup inside the instrument, but a whole microphone system as well that allows you to do the acoustic thing, but so much more than that. For the purpose of like comparison's sake, I'm going to play the exact same thing that I did with the other guitars, maybe select a different sound than the one that you've already heard in the introduction. But the Fender Acoustasonic is going to sound like this. And we now land into, I'd say, more experimental waters, at least when it comes to me. Those are things that I've seen being done, that I've seen being quite popular in some instances, but never tried for myself. That is, if you're a guitar player that's mostly an electric guitar act, but you do need to have access to some of those acoustic sounds when you go on stage, you don't necessarily need to pick up an acoustic guitar. There are options nowadays that allow you to take your electric guitar sound and acoustify it. Namely, today on the board, I have a pedal by Boss called the Acoustic Simulator AC3. This is the standard when it comes to that particular effect of taking your electric guitar sound and turning it acoustic. It's also something that's available in most multi-effect processing units, the Helixes of the world, the Boss obviously, GT, insert number, and more, of course, that just allow you to not have to swap guitar or do anything, just turn on that effect and get an acoustic guitar sound out of it, or at least something close enough to play the acoustic parts within your song. So I'm going to run that very electric Larry Carlton guitar into the Boss Acoustic Simulator, into a traditional clean tube amp, that is the Rev Generator 120, and the Harley Benson cab with a Celestion Creamback 75 that is mic'd. And that's what you're about to hear. And our final option for today is something that is probably a bit less common than the other ones. This is a very unique case scenario with Mr. John Petrucci's setup. This is his signature guitar, Ernie Ball by Music Man Majesty, that is also equipped with a piezo system. on top of the your usual electric guitar, so humbucker magnetic pickups. You have the piezo in there that you have the ability to blend with the other or just use in isolation, which is what John does. We have had the chance to meet him and do a rig rundown. We'll link that video somewhere, but splitting his signal from the guitar and using the piezo side of it into the TC Electronic body res, which is what I have on the pedal board as well today, and then going into a DI box. So that is, I'd say, a level beyond just the acoustic simulator and the regular magnetic pickup, because this is really like a dedicated setup within the guitar, within your guitar rig. This is a little bit more advanced, but let's see what kind of results that can yield. All right, and that was our sort of final option within those 5 that will allow you to bring your acoustic guitar sound on stage without being bothered by natural feedback, essentially. This is not a demo of any of those specific instruments or systems. There is a lot more than you can do. You can always tweak the piezo setup on your acoustic guitar to be blended with another type of internal microphone if you want a more percussive sound. The Acoustasonic is obviously filled with other sounds. You can go from electric guitar pickup into any sort of guitar shape, which is absolutely awesome. The Ovation was made for that, like quite literally. It's more of a one-trick pony for sure, but if that's what you're looking for, it's still an absolutely awesome and super viable option to this day. The electric guitar thing is really the no bother, no, like, I don't want to have to bring a second guitar. I don't want to have to bring a DI or an acoustic amp or a separate pedal board for an acoustic guitar. Just slap the acoustic simulator or use it within your multi-effects unit. You're sorted. That's all you have to do. That last sound, as much as I love it, is just so nerdy, and just for that reason, it's worth it. What John Petrucci does with the piezo, with the body res, and the way it just works within the guitar as well, like, it's a cool sound. It's a really cool sound. It sounds like pretty convincing as an acoustic guitar, but also more than that, it just sounds good. I think it's a very unique way of doing it. And yeah, also brilliant compromise to have that type of sound without having to swap guitars or setup or playability or anything, and just keep going on while you're on stage. So yeah, I hope that if you weren't familiar with some of those options, you now are. If you are looking to bring your acoustic sound on stage, you now have a better idea of how to go about it and what kind of different setups are available to you. If you did enjoy that video, please consider liking it, subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on all the videos that we publish every single week. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you down in the comment section and in the next one. Bye.